Hi everyone, I'm taking a little time today to talk about pride because it is one of the capital sins. And in my spiritual journey, I've been focused on spirituality for about 13 years now. One lesson that I keep getting is that pride indeed is one of the most harmful things for mental health and your integrity and your spiritual cleanliness, let's say. And I've learned that by being prideful and having many falls and having the proverbial lightning strike on my head. And the solution to that, or the counterbalance to that, is humility, obviously. Well, maybe not so obviously, because pride is actually touted in our society as some sort of virtue, when it's actually not that difficult to find yourself in a prideful feeling or position, because we can inflate our egos to whatever we desire. And it does not necessarily mean that it's right, and it does not necessarily mean that it's healthy or good for you or your community. And so, again, the counterbalance to that is humility. And humility does not come easy, it is a virtue after all. And so it comes with sacrifice, and it comes with focus, and it comes with a willingness to put your own self, or your sense of self, on the line to achieve greater harmony and a cohesion with your environment, with God, with your own self. I think it deserves a seat on the table. Humility is not often talked about, especially in social media, when it's the cult to self and everyone has the camera pointed right at them, and my own voice is being heard. Your voice is not technically being heard unless you yourself are sharing. And so whatever feedback that I get is usually in the form of validation, which can just increase my pride. And it's really not a service to anybody but my own ego, maybe. And so I have to keep a watch on that. I respect those who choose humility because it is not the easy choice. It is not what we would go for. Like, if we were to choose what we want in our lives and how we want to be feeling, humility is not what we come to. It's usually pride. Usually we want to feel good about ourselves. We want to feel like secure in our sense of self. And sometimes questioning that, or having a little bit of, healthy investigation, let's say, on your sense of self, can keep us healthy and balanced with the flow of life, and not to think that our will or our sense of identity is the most important thing in this world, because more often than not it isn't. Even when it comes to our own happiness, it does not have anything to do with pride. Actually, in my experience, pride has kind of taken the place of happiness, and it purports itself to be happiness and kind of masks true origins of happiness, because it doesn't allow me to get there. It doesn't allow me to get to true connection, and especially with myself, but also with my environment and life itself, because I'm not listening, I'm not open, I'm not receptive. And I think receptivity is the main way that we can connect to the force of life, and that includes the force of life in others. And so it's very important to nurture whatever keeps us open, and truly with our hearts, supple and not guarded. And pride is one of those things that kind of like puts up a wall and gives you the sense of safety and the sense of happiness, but it's not true, genuine surrender and love and presence. So I would tickle your brain to kind of explore taking your ego down a few notches. And if you think you already are humble, then you probably need a few more notches knocked down. I speak it from experience, because just the rewards are so much greater than the sacrifice. I can tell you that, just as with any virtue. But I suppose those are subjective rewards, because it's not like you can share with somebody like pride usually works. You can kind of validate each other and increase each other's pride, but you can't do that with humility. It's a self relationship, but that makes it all the more valuable to me, and that's what makes it a spiritual pursuit. It's completely subjective. It's all about you, and it brings rewards that no other thing can bring. So, thank you for listening. I'll see you next time.